Hey, it's Rich. Welcome back. I just finished week 92 on taking weight loss drugs. I took this week's shot just a few moments ago. So far, so awesome. Things are still going pretty strong, pretty well. I just had a week of vacation. I just finished a week of vacation yesterday. Today's Saturday, so last week I was off. And vacations typically are, for me at least, tougher when you're trying to lose weight because you just say, I'm on vacation. And then anything that comes along, a piece of chocolate cake, I'm on vacation. You want to eat a second or third helping of a good meal that's good for you, but too much, if you eat too much of it, I'm on vacation, so I can do that. And last week it was also in the middle of the week was St. Patrick's Day, so I could have gone out and gotten a bunch of fried food at the bars because I'm on vacation. I had a pretty good week, and I was just thinking about why that was, because I didn't do anything special. I didn't do anything that said I could do this if I do that. I didn't. Well, but I think I did without realizing it. So one of the things that I did in the past week was I ate, and you've heard me talk about cookies before. I'm typically surrounded by a lot of cookies now. There's cookies everywhere. And I've been pretty good about, I make jokes about that I have 1 or 5 of them, but I really don't. And that's one of the things that I've found that is different about being on these weight loss drugs is that typically when I would get a packet from the store of 12, a dozen cookies, not just the store-bought cookies that are completely made someplace else, but the ones that the store puts together and puts in those little plastic bins, and they put their own label on and stuff like that. They're getting the cookie dough from someplace and they're just making them there, but still they're a step above just the store-bought cookies. And even though I'm buying them at the store, they're kind of made there. There's more to them. And normally if I got a box of those, if I got 12 of those, I would eat 12. And if I got knowing that I would eat all 12, I would get 2 cartons or 2 trays of 12 cookies, and then I would eat 18 or 19 or 20 in one day, and then have a couple for the next day and say, well, it averages out, so it's okay. I just don't do that anymore, right? I can have all those cookies around, and yes, I will eat 1 or 2 cookies when I'm having cookies, but I won't eat 12 of them. I won't eat 6 of them. And I think that's just one of the changes that I've seen being on this drug. I'm on Mounjaro. I'm at the 7.5 dose still. That's where I started when I moved over to Mounjaro from Wegovy. And so far, so great, because I'm able to have some of those and not go crazy, not have the whole box, not have the whole dozen. I had chips last week, or over the last 7 days. I had chips a couple of times. I did the crazy thing of getting out a little bowl and pouring some chips into them and eating those very diligently. I didn't leave a speck in that bowl, but I also didn't eat the whole bag. And those bags are, I think I've talked to you about this before, that the bags have gotten smaller, shrinkflation. They keep making the bags smaller, so pretty soon now the regular size Doritos bags, for example, are very close to the single serving, the 0.75 ounces. Now these are 5 ounces or 6 ounces. I mean, it's not that much more. It's a factor of 4 or 5, but it's not like it used to be, where it used to be 1 pound or 14 ounces. I think that's a problem. I think that's a problem that we all have in our heads, is that we see that things are going smaller, so we eat more, knowing that we can eat more because there's less in the bag, but then we're eating the whole bag. And that's what I would do. And I don't do that anymore. And not that I can't, not that I wouldn't. If I wanted to sit down and eat the whole thing, I'd have no problem. Could do it in a heartbeat. I just don't need to. I can say no to that. The other thing that I did this week was I ate really pretty healthy the entire week, as far as what I had for meals and I didn't eat my full calorie meals and then have the cookies and then have the potato chips. I factored those things in. So there was one day that I had less substantive food and more crap, more crummy food, right? But it seemed to work out, and I don't feel like I missed anything. And I think that's one of the things that I'm shooting for, is to not feel like I'm missing out, not feel like this is just a diet that as soon as I'm done, that I can go back to eating the way I really want to eat. So hopefully I'm learning something. Hopefully I'm rewiring my brain a little bit. I don't know if I am or not, but we'll see in the future. So anyhow, you didn't come to hear me talk about that stuff. You came to hear some really good jokes. You know, I said I was on vacation last week, and I was tootling around town, and I took an Uber, and the Uber driver turned to me and says, "Do you mind if I play some music?" Which is great. I mean, I love the fact that they ask you those kind of questions now. And I said, "Yeah, no, go ahead." He said, "Kiss?" And I said, "Well, let's hear the music first." I love that joke. I think that's a great one. Oh God. You know, I as with every week, you know, we put out our trash one week, and then our trash and our recycling another week, and man, we get so many boxes from Amazon now that just putting out the recycling once every other week is just not enough. We get into trouble. And I started thinking about all the trucks that are going by that are picking up our trash. And did you know that they don't have a training program for the trash collectors? They do not have a training program for the trash collectors. They just pick it up as they go along. Pick it up as they go along. Yeah, whatever. All right, how did I do this week? All right, well, this week was a fairly decent week for being on vacation and not worrying about things and having more snack food than I typically would eat in a general week. I lost another 2 pounds, crazy as it sounds. I really didn't expect this to be a good week at the start of the week. And as I went on through the week, I thought, this is actually not going to be bad. So I lost another 2 pounds. That brings me down to a total of 47 pounds on Monjuro itself, and overall 134 pounds. I'll see you next week.